Hello and good evening again, kiddlies. I enjoyed reading you the story about the witch so much that I'm going to read you another one. This one is called Magic Island, and I hope you enjoyed as much as the last one. Magic Island by Elizabeth Waugh. Far, far away in the warm South Seas, there is a magic island ruled over by a kindly witch called Thomasina Toffee. What a great name! On Thomasina's island, the seashells are made of bubble gum. The streams flow with sparkling lemonade, and a huge chocolate buttons grow on the trees. For Thomasina had a sweet tooth, and there was nothing she liked better than to nibble a tasty little sweet. As she was a witch and her teeth were made of good strong crystal, she never needed any fillings and could eat as many sweets as she liked. Thomasina's broomstick was made of barley sugar, and every day she would ride on it around her island, flying high over the cream soda waterfalls and the toffee trees. One night, when Thomasina was fast asleep in her marzipan bed, she was woken suddenly by the sound of the wind howling and the waves crashing on the shore. There was a terrible storm, and the wind was blowing so hard that the chocolate buttons were pitter-pattering down from the trees, and the pear-drop seashells were being whirled along the beach. Crossly, Thomasina got out of bed, put on a magic-spangled cloak, and made her way down to the beach. She tried to make a spell to calm the storm, but her magic was not strong enough. In the distance she could see a ship rolling and heaving in the waves. She was a good witch and she would like to help everybody if she could. But there was nothing she could do. So she went back to her little toffee house, shut the door firmly, clunk, and got into bed. When she woke in the morning, the sun was shining and the sea was calm and still, and she was drinking her breakfast cup of hot chocolate. What a great way to wake up, a cup of hot chocolate. When suddenly she heard a loud shriek. It came from the beach. But who could it be? No one else lived on Thomasina's island. She quickly jumped on her barley sugar broomstick and flew down to the seashore, and there, sitting on the rock and looking very cold and wet and bedraggled, was a little yellow teddy bear. You have to see the teddy bear. Can you see the teddy bear? I hope you can. Let's turn my fan off so we can hear properly. There we go. He sneezed and spluttered and shivered. Thomasina floated down beside him. "Zimbleby fiddle me dee," she said. "And who are you?" My name is Ernest Pumpkin," said the little teddy bear. "I was sailing with my family on the big ship and I got washed overboard in a terrible storm." "Well, my dear Mr. Pumpkin," said Thomasina kindly, "welcome to my magic island. You must come back to my house and dry yourself off." Please call me Ernest," said the teddy bear. "Thank you for your kind invitation. I should very much like to try myself." So Ernest climbed on the broomstick of Thomasina's broomstick and flew back to their little toffee house. The sun was shining and Ernest soon dried off. Thomasina offered him all sorts of delicious things to eat. A thimbleful of raspberryade, a slice of fudge, a little plate of chocolate buttons. Now I'm feeling hungry. And then she took him on a lovely ride around the island and showed him the cream soda waterfall and the pear-drop seashells. That evening, Thomasina gave him his own little bed, and Ernest slept better than ever before. Ernest loved sweets too, so he had a wonderful time on Thomasina's magic island. He stayed for several weeks, steadily growing fatter and fatter and fatter. Bit like me. But one day Thomasina noticed that he was looking very sad. He hadn't bothered to eat his breakfast, and he was sitting gloomily on the doughnut sofa, staring ahead of him. Then a fat tear fell down his little cheek and plopped onto the floor. "Whatever is the matter, Ernest?" asked Thomasina anxiously. I miss my family," said Ernest sadly, "and especially Jennifer, the little girl who owns me. I wonder where she is now. She must miss me too, she must." "Well, let's have a look in my crystal ball," said Thomasina. Do you know what a crystal ball is? A crystal ball is a crystal glass ball, and witches can look into it and see things that we can't. Thomasina brought a beautiful shining round object out of the cupboard. "It's magic," she explained. "If you look into it, you can see where your friends are and what they are doing." Thomasina placed it carefully on the middle of the table and said her magic spell. "Crystal ball shining bright through the day and through the night, tell me where Jennifer is now." Oh, look, there's a great picture. Can you see the crystal ball? As they peered into the crystal ball, shapes slowly began to form. "Why, look!" cried Ernest. "It's Jennifer and her mother. They're in a house by the seaside." "Well, that's easy," said Thomasina. "I can take you there on my broomstick. But we'll have to go at night so nobody sees us. And we'd better wear spangled cloak in case it gets cold." So that very night, Thomasina and Ernest set off on the barley sugar broomstick. They whizzed through the moonlight, over the islands and over the ocean, until they came to the house where Ernest's family was staying. They floated down on the broomstick and landed in the garden as quietly as little mouse. Thomasina opened the back door by magic, and Ernest tiptoed into the sitting room and jumped onto the sofa. He kissed Thomasina goodbye and thanked her so very much for her kindness. Then she climbed back onto her broomstick and flew back home to her magic island. When Jennifer came down for breakfast the following morning, she was amazed. She was amazed to see Ernest sitting on the sofa. She rushed up to him and hugged and kissed him. "Mummy! Mummy!" she yelled. "Guess what? Ernest has come back! Come and have a look! Come and see!" And so Ernest returned to live happily with his family, but as he sat in the nursery with the other toys, eagerly waiting for Jennifer to bring some crumpets for tea, he often thought of the kindly witch Thomasina and her magic island, where all those good things to eat could be had if you had just stretched out your paw. And as for Jennifer, she never understood why Ernest had grown so fat. What a brilliant story! I want to go and have some candy now myself. Let's go and see what we've got in the cupboard. Did you enjoy that? See you next time. Bye.